Welcome to the 1-year retest DIY detail and Adams, Abrading app and install coatings on the first site. So I get out the old or the new yellow waffle pad, and there's a little bit of rinseless gold standing on in a nice little circular pattern there, like a swirl. And then boringly, I'm going to show you me just quickly doing the abrading at the surface. I'm not looking to polish off any extra paint or any excess paint or anything like that. This car goes mileage. It would be pointless to try and make this look as good as you can. What it needs to look, or what it needs, is an ability to be able to put on the coating to help more with protection. After cleaning, here I am, just about to put on a nice little spray. I'm going to wait until it just spins, then spray the gun, and away we go. Obviously, products I'm showing there on the bottom left and right is what I'm using, and you can get them from DIYdetail.com. And I did the top part of the door, and I'm going to do the bottom. Now, what I didn't catch on film is me doing the glass on the top, etc. But I did do it. I just had not realised that I'd lost that because the camera was not happy. So that bit's lost, but I'm less worried about that. My worry is to make sure that it all looks good and it's abraded sufficiently that we can put it on. Just a quick look at the pad there. I'm just going to do a little bit more, because the gold standard is one of those polishes that seems to last for a long time once it's on. Doesn't dry out. This still happens to be, to me, the very best polishing system on the market. There is nothing better. You've got lots of fantastic DIY detail videos on how to, and very beginner friendly. So here I am again. I just let it stop, and then it's still spinning. A nice little squeeze. Let's have a close-up this time. Fell on there. I like doing that. That's my preference. Squeeze it on, and away you go. So onto the DIY detail door. Adam's door is on the back, and once again, I'm gonna do 3 passes. I think I did 3. Maybe even 4 if I want, but yes, just going to do a few passes. Got to make sure it's abraded. It looks shiny enough anyway from the way it is. And you can hold it one hand, of course. It's actually easier when you're coming down on the vehicle than when you're on the side. What I'm really doing is just trying to hold this in position. The main section I'm worried about is, of course, the centre part of the door, and that's fine to me too. I'm just going to come back up, quickly show you the pad, and then go and give it another quick wash off. Then I'm going to come back, another quick spin up. Okay, one more show. There you go. There's a nice little curl on it again, just so you can see. And away we go. Oh, a little drip there. I got to use a drip catcher. I got some drip catchers from DIY because I was tired of that happening. Anyway, now I'm polishing towards the bottom of the door. You'll notice I haven't gone all the way to the bottom, because what I actually do is leave the very bottom to last, which is by design. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to have at least have the paint down to the black and a little bit of plastic down to the black strip. And then once I'm there with that, I can go along. Fairly mundane, boring tasks. I do understand that doing this every day. Oh, here's the drip catcher come out, because I do not like it dripping. And I'm going to go on with the bottom section. Once again, just get a bit of the old gold standard on. And then let's get on to the bottom of the door. And as you can see, I get onto the bottom of the door. Now I don't get all of this because the camera overheats or something like that and decides that it's not going to carry on. I think after missing the top bit and this, I decided to keep a closer eye on the video because I don't like remaking stuff. You can see I'm redoing the bottom there nicely. And then unfortunately I lose the next bit at the bottom. I changed the battery at that point, and what I'm going to say is I hadn't realised I did under the DIY door section. Then I wiped off the gold standard, and now for my insurance wipe, because I think I needed an insurance wipe. I actually use paddle prep. I spray the cloth, I wipe, and then I have a wipe off, and I make sure I do all of it. You see me starting up at the top there on the window, and I will move my way around. If I need a little bit more, I will do a couple of spritzes, to say the least, and make sure that I actually get what I want, which for me, of course, is what I need. Making sure it's free from everything so I can move along to the apping stage. Once again, prime the cloth, and I'm going down the door now. Do a little section of it, and then wipe, little section and wipe, little section and wipe. Carry on through until everything's done. Okay, now that's complete, I'm going to move on to the app stage. I'm putting some spots on of app, and I have my, I think it's 8mm stroke. I have the 8mm stroke DA out, and I honestly only do about one lap. I'm not particularly worried about going across it 2 or 3 times. I'm just putting it on, go once, that's it. Sometimes go twice, but that's max. I actually put a little bit more on just to make sure, because I didn't really seem to see anything on. Maybe that's just me or the light. So it is getting slightly darker as time goes along. But as I polish up, everything is good with the app going on. And as you can see, I'm putting it everywhere, which for me, of course, is good. to do the front door now. I've did the Adam side, and then just go along with the app. I got plenty on to be able to do it. Have a quick check over, make sure that the camera hasn't stopped or overheated or any other issues like that. Nothing worse than that, I can tell you. I am doing the glass. I know you don't have to do the glass. I'm just doing it because I'm there. I'm in the zone, like you do. Then once I'm finished with the app, of course, oh, I think I think the child wanted something. I had to pop over there, and I'm just gonna finish off with the app. Just making sure everything's on. And then I think I leave it for a few minutes, especially with the child playing in. Then I'm going to come back and wipe it all down. I think that's a Freebird 400 towel, and it wipes off easily, of course. Hang on, no rinseless on, it's dry. Just make sure everything's wiped off. It's all good to go. So now I'm over with the apping section. I'm going to bring out the light because I feel it's getting dark enough that you won't see anything that occurs. And of course, once I bring out that, I'm actually going to put my phone on a little stand. And this time I'm going to have a timer going, so when you think I'm wiping something, it's not as quick as you think it is in terms of time. It's really because everything is generally at 3 speed, although this section isn't as I'm saying it. I'm going to put the light on, so I've got some light on the door so I can see anything occurring. And of course in the camera you can see a little bit too. You can see when I put something on, and on the DIY side, I'm going to give it a full 30 minutes. And I'm just checking, just have a look over there to check, make sure everything's okay. As they say, measure twice, cut once. I'm making sure everything's good. Just bringing it across. Checking, making sure I got rid of all the app. Which to me is kind of important. So let's get ready for the DIY side. Make sure that all is good. So the DIY one here, the one I used last time, I'd like to thank DIY for sending me a 1-year coating. Unfortunately, I'd already done this by the time they sent it, but I do have what's left. I'm going to spray on what I had there, a few sprays, and then off we go to the races. I'm just going to zoom it up a little bit just so you can see it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to apply the DIY detail, and as you can see when I'm putting it on, by the way, where I put it and how I'm putting it, and you can see where it's gone on because you can see I'm doing circles, and the circles are quite easy to see. There's a little overlap, I'm not too worried. That will not be the bit I look at mostly in the test. I usually look at the center of the door and not to worry too much about that. Then once it's on and everything looks good, I will then set up my phone. Did I do the wing mirror? I don't know. Honestly, don't recall there. Maybe I did. I should go back and have a look, really. But it doesn't matter. That's not the main part. Another reason why I actually video it, just so I can have a look back. As this is my first look back after putting it together on DaVinci, that makes it interesting. Now I've already set my phone up on timer, and the time is ticking away. I think once again I'm pulled away, but I've got my graphene ceramic spray coating, the advanced, which is supposed to be 1.5 to 2 years. We'll see. What I'm going to give you is a zoom up on the timer. You can see we're at 28 minutes. And with this one, I'm going to use a microfiber block style. Not actually my favorite type to use. I really do prefer to use a foam pad. But I think there were some complaints, and I don't know if I was really happy with the complaints. Not specifically from the people, but the complaint I had. Okay, I will use microfiber suede on everything else, just so I can make sure that the DIY detail has everything it's supposed to. Now, Adams also had app when I put it on. You see me, I just load a couple of sprays on, then wipe on. With the microfiber on there, it's relatively easy, but of course you have to overload it just to get it to work. And as I'm putting it all over it, it did have to have the app on, because I wanted to do this one, make it suffer with the app DIY supplies to see if that makes it fail early or not. I personally don't believe that's going to be the case. But on the other hand, you never know, do you? It could indeed be a factor that it does fail because of it, but I don't think so. Could I have bought their sprays? Yes, I could. So I'm just wiping off quickly. It had 2 minutes on there. I don't know if you noted, but I started doing it at about 26. And I'm wiping off and I'm giving it a full 2 minutes. Technically, I don't think you have to, but I do on this one. And that's going to be the theme of the show for some of the other ones, because of the issues from last time, the complaint. With you being able to see the timer, you can see how long that I actually leave it on there and wipe off. And it's relatively easy wipe off. It seems okay. I know I missed a little bit there and I can see it on the screen, but I do get it in the end, eventually. So it's fast forwarding a bit at 10 speed. I think I have a section where it cuts and I have to put in another battery. But we're back on. And then, yes, there we are. So we got down to the 30 minutes. And now I'm wiping off DIY detail, and it's getting darker as time goes along. So I have my leveling towel and then my insurance wipe off. The leveling is a level 1 or level 1 style, and the Freebird 400 is the fluffy after one, just to make sure. I'm just going to make sure that I get that wiped well. Out of all the coatings, believe it or not, the DIY detail is the easiest one for application in terms of apply, wait and rub off. Now I could have rubbed it off earlier, but I also want to test out the fact that you could, and it's much easier to do than you think. The easiest of the 3 other ones that were put on, there's nothing easier and you can't go wrong with it, and that I like personally. I always have a problem if you're having to wipe off and there's an issue. I think one of them is more of an issue actually, because I do give it an extended amount of time, but we'll see that when it comes up. Moving along, here's a shot of the back for the Adams. As you can see, all looks good. You can see everything in the background. Then we move along to the DIY, and you can see the DIY all looks good. Everything's all nice and shiny. And that's all done. Thanks for watching until the first wash, and of course the other side application. Please like, subscribe and hype. Goodbye.